This is Mekus with the Continence Club. I am back with a fantastic video. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. In today's presentation, I'm going to be discussing the fact that you are a creator and that there's no need for you to compare or compete with other people, and how that is correlated with that internal blockage you feel inside to get to that next level. And with that being said, it's time to demonstrate. I want you to keep this in mind. The law of relativity is used to understand that situations are only better or worse based on how you compare them. View your personal internal growth as the only relevant metric. So keep this in mind as I go throughout this presentation. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started and demonstrate. You probably find yourself comparing and competing with other people in your identity shifting process. Little do you know that is actually holding you back. Little do you know that that is feeding that blockage that you feel inside that's holding you back from getting to that next level. So it's time for you to choose your character. Choose who it is that you want to become. In life, it's all about becoming and continuously growing. So you need to put your focus on creating that aspect of yourself, that character that you want to become, rather than worrying about the next person, competing and comparing. Now, let me explain a little further why you should go about life this way. This is the reason you remain stuck in your current situation and can't seem to make a shift in your personal identity. You're blocking yourself subconsciously, because you're emotionally registering the fact that you are not good enough to become because of what someone may have told you in the past, or what you may see going on in someone else's life, etc. So I've been talking to a few of you already. You've reached out to me, you talked to me about past traumas you're dealing with, and the fact that somebody told you couldn't do something, and other situations that you're emotionally registering. And this leads you to comparing yourself to other people. And this leads to you feeling like you have to compete against those people that talk down on you, when the reality is that you really only have to prove things to yourself. You see, the majority of people would rather put themselves or others down when comparing lives. I was a victim of this as well in my life. I would always look to compare myself or to compete against somebody or play the victim or not take accountability. And it's what really kept me stuck until I realized that I have the privilege, the wonderful opportunity to shift my perception and worry about the things that I can control. Have you forgotten that you have your own life to live? Have you forgot that you're your own sovereign, authentic, beautiful individual? Have you forgotten this? And it's time for you to remember that you are unique, and that this applies to your identity shifting process. Or, well, your story is different from mine. My story is different from yours, right? There's no need for you to compare your life to me. There's no reason for me to compare my life to yours. I can draw inspiration from you. You can draw inspiration from me. And then we go about creating our own God-given, unique, authentic, individual lives. You see, because there's that saying, comparison is the thief of joy. But let me tell you something. Comparison is also a source of inspiration. Instead of hating, competing, gossiping, putting people down, comparing yourself to other people, be proud of the fact that you have the privilege to create and become who you want to be. But it's not your fault that you don't understand fully that you have the ability to create, because growing up, we've been taught to compare our lives to other people, to be honestly jealous of other people, envious of other people, rather than drawing inspiration from people and creating our own lane, staying in our own lane, right? Think about it. Do you really want to be like someone else? Or do you want to draw inspiration from someone to become your own unique person? Like, what do you really want? Do you really want to be like somebody else? Or would you like to draw inspiration and create your own life, create your own lane? Do you really feel like you were born to fit in rather than stand out? Why wouldn't you want to stand out? Don't you want to achieve things that you feel like you could have never achieved before? And you don't really get that when you try to fit in. You get that whenever you create. Whenever you create, you're standing out because you're thinking outside of the box, right? So You will only remain stuck in your ways until you decide to take full accountability for your life and emotionally register the idea of creation. Once you register this, it's up to you to really create the life that you want and shift into the person that you want to be. That's when everything is going to change. That's when you're going to remove that internal blockage. That's when you're going to get past that revenue ceiling. That's when you're going to break away from whatever it is that you're doing and create your own type of sustainability for yourself. So as you move forward in life, remember that evolution and realization of your potential is key. That's what life is about. Evolution, realizing your potential, tapping into it, giving back to yourself. Because when you give back to yourself, you automatically give back to other people. You understand? So you cannot evolve. You can't get past that blockage that you feel internally. You can't realize your potential if you compare or compete with others. In fact, you're only remaining stagnant, and that is the subconscious block that you feel within yourself. And this blockage will come out and negatively impact your daily activities, such as your business, that revenue ceiling you're stuck at, the workplace that you're trying to transition away from to create your own type of business or sustainability for yourself, creativity that you're doing on the side, your hobbies that you're trying to fulfill, your authenticity as a person, right? Your relationships, whether you have a significant other or not, all of these things are going to project out into those things in a negative light. So chances are you're not drawing inspiration from others. You rather focus on what you or the other person lacks. You feel like, oh, this person has this, I'm not good enough, or man, this is what's going on, and you're comparing that to what somebody else has going on, and that's really what's going to hold you back. So since this is what you're emotionally registering, you will see this lack and negativity play into your personal life in various ways, because reality is a mirror, and I've talked about this. I've talked about the mirror principle and how the mirror of reality reflects how you feel about yourself internally, right, over time. So this is why, again, you remain stuck at that certain revenue ceiling. This is why you cannot transition from your current job or position to be self-sustaining. This is why you cannot take your career to the next level as a creative influencer or athlete. This is what you are telling me. You know, in the calls that we've had, you've said that you want to be self-sustaining. You want to wake up every single day, live the life that you want to live, right? You want to get past certain revenue barriers that you're facing in your life. You want to take your career to the next level, right? This is what you're telling me. So this is how you surpass that, by having the identity of a creator, right? And not comparing yourself to other people. And the biggest takeaways I want you to understand is that, again, you have to choose your character, choose who it is that you want to become, because comparing yourself to others is detrimental. You are an individual that is priceless and incomparable. Focus on personal, internal growth rather than external rankings. Instead of benchmarking against others, cultivate an abundance mindset, self-belief, and self-respect. Because whenever you have self-respect, that's what's going to build conviction. That's what's going to give you more motivation, right, to create, because you see yourself as worthy. Your worth cannot be measured by comparing it to anyone else. Nobody else is going to determine your worth. Not even me, not anybody around you, not your parents. You determine your own worth. You may think that these external things do, when in reality, you always had the power. They don't have the power over you. Ranking and judging yourself against others is negative and wasted thought. Maintain a positive self-image and self-concept over external validation. You see, because you are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution. Let me say that again. You are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution. So from here on out, look in the mirror, because that is who you are up against. If you found this video useful, please leave me a comment or reach out to me in email to let me know about the blockages internally that you're trying to overcome. If you're an entrepreneur stuck at a revenue ceiling, or just an entrepreneur in general, you know, a business owner, a creative influencer, athlete, whoever it is, or if you just feel like you're somebody who has an internal blockage that you can't overcome or surpass, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and we can set up a couple minutes to talk so that I can learn about your experience and be able to put out videos to help you overcome these things. So this is Mekus with the Continence Club. I will see you on the other side, and until next time, thank you so much. Have a blessed day.